Welcome back. So in this section, let us try to understand how to read the content from Excel files. Okay, so in one of the last section, we have understood how to read the files from CSV extension files, right? .csv, we know how to do it. And we also seen how to read the values from database, right? So those two are done. The another one of the popular one is Excel. So sometimes we have a data in Excel also. We should be able to download that Excel file and scan the content inside it. That is also one of the common requirement like CSV files and database, right? So I have added another button here. Previously we have checked on CSV, right? Now when you click on download, so you will have one downloaded Excel where you can open and you can see the orders what you have placed. Okay. Now let's see how to do that. So for that, it's straightforward as CSV, but you will learn a lot more new concepts in the process of understanding the content of Excel reading. So let me quickly show our previous session test. So here where we tried to read through CSV file, right? So same way we will try for Excel also, but there is some tricky difference here and you will understand a new concept called CY tasks. Okay, in Cypress there are a special concept called task, which we already partially done in our previous lecture. Now if you check out our config.js file, so here where we have given all DB configurations, right? So here we gave on task, right? So you might not be very clear in the last section when I have written this step, but in this section we will go in detail about what is this task, why should we define this here, why should it go inside config.js, everything I will explain clearly, because that the time arises here. When I'm dealing with Excel, I have to explain how this task work before I show you how Excel validations are done, because both are tightly integrated here. So very good concepts in this section. I'm looking forward. So first of all, let's get started with the same example, which we already have here, session test, because it logs in directly with the token, which is great, without even login screen, which we already saw. It fill all the forms, and it submits, and finally it reaches the submit page. So here we clicked on CSV button, right? Where is that? Instead, let's go with Excel and then start our Excel validations. So instead of rewriting that entire script again, I will reuse it. Session test, copy, and let's paste it. Oh, I already have another copy. So I'll rename it as Excel validations. Excel task also we are doing here. So let's put that name. Okay. So until this, everything is good. This submits and you reach this confirmation page, right? So here, instead of CSV click, now I want to click on Excel, right? So right click, inspect. So how do you wanna click on this? So in Cypress, if you know that it's a button, based on button text also you can click on it. We have seen in one of the previous lecture. Let's use that locator. So first of all, I'll try to get class name, which we already have. Order summary. Let me click on this once again. Yeah, we have button primary here. So if I just say button, then there are a lot of buttons present here, right? So just like how we have done CSV, I'll start from its section. I'll come from the top. In this table, only 2 buttons are there. So I'll come from the parent dot class name. When I give this, it validates the whole section. Now whatever locator I give, it will check inside this section only, because this is a parent. And when you give space and search anything, then the search scope will be within that parent, right? So within that parent, I'll just say button. So 2 buttons are there. Previously we have only 1 button, so it directly identified 1 element. So 2 elements are there. Now how to delete? That's okay. If you still have button text, using button text we can handle it. Let's see how to do that. So now all this is not required because this code is for CSV file. Now after you submit, then first I will give that locator. Order summary button, same locator. But problem is now two results are identified. So in that case, if you know the button text, so this is the button text, right? So you can write like this: out of two elements written, dot contains, check for which button it have the text. I mean, you can write any partial text also. Let's say here Excel is a unique, right? I'll write like this, Excel. So now what happens is when you do cy.get, it will get two elements. Out of these two elements, which button contains the text called Excel? It filters here when you write dot contains. Okay, so it has Excel. So that's how that particular button will be identified and you can perform click operation on it. So that's the beauty with the one of the locator we have in Cypress, that if you have a button, on button text you can put contains and put the text, so it will uniquely pick the button out of it, out of the multiple results written. And this is not valid for again links or any HTML elements. Only when you have button, this will work, dot contains. Okay, so this will click on this button and it will download the file like order hyphen invoice underscore your username, what you have created for this sign in dot xlsx. This is how you will get the file. All right. Now, once you have a file in place, let's see how that file is opening. Yeah, same thing, just like how we have seen previously for CSV, same thing, but it's an Excel extension this time. So definitely there will be different way of dealing it. CSV concept will not work here. All right. So now just recap for session test, how we have handled CSV. So here we have got a plugin called Neat CSV, which will parse CSV to JavaScript object. So similarly for Excel also, you have something like Excel to JSON NPM. This one. So this is an official website, convert Excel to JSON. Where is it? Let me refresh it. Okay. So this is the plugin I am going to show you to convert Excel to JSON or JavaScript object, whatever. So first you need to install this plugin into your system. All right. So go here and just provide that command, whatever you have, npm convert Excel to JSON. So it will add one dependency in your system. And once it is done, you can come back and check your package.json that you have this plugin available. That is the step one, which you have done, right? Next, you should make a habit to read this documentation to understand how these code has to be written. So they have given some CLI commands that were from command. If you give this command name and provide your source file Excel, then it converts to the JSON. But in Cypress, we don't drive through commands, right? We drive through code. So scroll down. This is how we need. This is what we need. So basically this Excel to JSON is a plugin, right? So when you install that plugin, this method will be automatically available for you. Okay. So in this method, you need to send your Excel file as an input. And then what this method does is scan this XML file, convert into JavaScript object and place in a variable. So once you got your JavaScript object, thereafter you can happily put validations on that, right? Now see here, you got your JavaScript object and then you can go with an array and find the key, everything you can do here. It's all straightforward. But trick here is to get that JavaScript object. You can get that if you just use this method Excel to JSON and give your Excel file. Okay. So let's use it. Copy this code. You need to export this now. And there are different ways, guys, here how you want to read all that. So what I suggest is there are two ways: converting XLX that you have as a buffer. So this will not work on Cypress level because it should be in a position to read the file. In JavaScript, if you want to read the file, you have to give this method read file and pass the file as an input. Okay, this is an exact method code which will work for JavaScript. Okay, Same thing, same method here, Excel to JSON. Inside this, they want to send a file, but that file you cannot just directly give the with a text, right? So you need to pass it in the read file method and pass it. So they have given all the code. Don't worry, simply copy this block, and this will does the work for us in scanning the Excel file. All right. So I'll place it here, right? So these are the imports. So let's move it to the top. Maybe I will put it here. Okay, so let's format it the way that it looks good. Now we clicked on Excel, it got downloaded. Excel to JSON conversion, read file. Okay, now where is that file? So whenever you download file through Cypress, the downloaded file will come and sit here like this. I just ran this program before this video, that after you download, you know that all downloads in Cypress comes in the downloads folder, and this is the file. This is how you get a file. So that file name, maybe we can take a variable here and write nicely const. What is our file name? Right. So for the file name, you already have a piece of code here. I'll copy this, which we have already done for CSV, right? I'm again not repeating the same concept, that cypress.config will give the path up to project level, right? From the project, you will go to Cypress, you will go to downloads, order hyphen invoice at the rate. I am logged in with name called Anshika, so not Rahul this time. So Anshika is my file .xlsx. So this is how a file will be downloaded in this file path. Maybe let's put as a file path. This is our file path, guys, right? After you click on this Excel, this file path, you will find your Excel file. Now you need to pass it here. So basically now here we are telling Excel to JSON. What is this? This is a method, right? When you click on this, this is taking you to the function in your node modules. So from where this is coming, you installed this convert Excel to JSON dependency. Once you install this dependency, automatically all these files will be supported now. You see, this module is created in your node module section. Where is that? See, in this node modules directory, when you do that npm install Excel to JSON, that module is created. In that module, there is a function or a method called Excel to JSON, where you can give the file path, which is what we are doing now, right? Okay, so you have told where the path is there and done, and all the result will get stored in the JavaScript object. That's it. Now you can simply print your JavaScript object and see how the result comes, right? Once you get the access to the JavaScript object, thereafter you can play around, right? You can travel hierarchy to through the JavaScript object and retrieve all the results, just like how we have done for CSV. Pretty straightforward with this plugin. Okay, so let me save everything, and then I will open the terminal npx Cypress open. So make sure that you have given Excel to download, not CSV. So this is the format, this is the process we followed for CSV files, right? The same way I'm doing for Excel, but you will understand the one issue here. Why the straight the process how we did previously will not work in Excel case is what you will figure out now. Let's see. So Excel task validations is there. Okay, so there is an issue here. Unexpected token in the file, line number 63. I think somewhere we are giving extra. See, just read the error and you will figure out what's going on. So this has to log in directly with session token as usual. Okay, this is the issue. Let's see what it already gave us issue that read file sync is not a function. This is the headache. Okay, this will not work. It's already thrown an error saying this will not work. Now, what is that read file sync? Where it is? Let's investigate. Here it is. Okay, so what Cypress is saying is I could not identify this as a function. Why? FS. What is this FS? If you go scroll up, there is a module in the JavaScript where you can read files with the help of module called FS. You can see that FS module enables interacting with the file system. Okay, so all the files in your system can be accessed with the help of this module. This comes inbuilt with JavaScript. You need not specially have any module in the package.json. This is pretty straightforward JavaScript function, but still it is saying I cannot identify. It's saying that that is not a function, which is valid. When you Google it, everybody will tell that this is a proper JavaScript function, but Cypress is saying I cannot recognize it. Why? Keep thinking. In the next lecture, let's see what is the issue here and how to make this work in Cypress. Okay, thank you.